Balan Wonderworld, what are you doing to me? Balan Wonderworld is a bizarre game. Before it's even out, it has very mixed reception because of the quality of its demo, and that's a shame because I was personally enjoying my time with the game despite its problems. But then the final boss showed up. The game is supposed to get a day 1 patch to fix things. At the time of writing this, it is 3 PM on launch day and there is still no patch. The final boss has an attack that will give people seizures. I'm not prone to seizures, but I had to endure about 10 flashing sequences and my brain actually hurts right now. This is inexcusable. I get it's planned to be fixed in a day 1 patch, but this isn't a day 1 patch thing. This is priority 1 a month before release fix. I don't care if the game crashes, I care if you kill me. Fix that first. Also, we're on day 1, it's still not here. Right, let's talk about the rest of the game. I wrote the rest of this stuff before the final boss, so haha! Balan Wonderworld is directed by Yuji Naka, the very same Yuji Naka who made the Sonic the Hedgehog games and Night into Dreams. You can really feel the Knight's vibe in the enemy design, especially Lance. The main gripe that I've seen people have is the game only has one button. On a PlayStation controller, triangle, square, circle, X, L2 and R2 all do the same thing. I can see why this would be off-putting. It also doesn't help that the demo, in my eyes, has some of the weakest levels in the game. Chapter 1 is, no disrespect, fairly generic grasslands. Chapter 4's level has this weird box ability that feels super awkward and I absolutely hate it. And Chapter 6, actually I quite like the Chapter 6 level from the demo, that was pretty fun. All the other chapters have much more interesting gimmicks and better level designs, so I'm surprised that they didn't highlight these levels instead in the demo. So what do I love about the game? Well, as I said, I think the level design is actually really interesting. You gain over 80 different abilities throughout the game, and these abilities all yield certain powers, from hovering to reach a longer gap, to swimming, to shrinking yourself, to seeing the location of secrets, to being an actual vacuum cleaner, yes! They all serve a function, and that function can be utilised in many different ways. In Chapter 3, the game expects you to burn the spider web with an ability in Chapter 5, but I can also use this cursed-looking genie from Chapter 2 to phase through the web since it's thin enough. Not all of the time, but certainly a lot of the tasks to find statues can be tackled in many different ways, and I liked that freedom. The downside to this is you're going to find you don't always have the ability you need. That means you need to backtrack, and you may as well backtrack once you've played the whole game casually, because there's no way to know what ability you need, or if you've even seen that ability yet. And that's unfortunate and a bit annoying at times. But another way of looking at it is the game is essentially a Metroidvania of sorts, but purely for secrets, which is actually pretty cool. You also unlock 12 new levels, 1 for each chapter, when you beat the final boss. That's quite nice, I do appreciate that. Another complaint I saw was that the game didn't look incredible graphically, but I don't think that should matter personally. It should be about the quality of the gameplay, not how it looks, and I don't think the game even looks that bad. Act 2 of Chapter 3 is gorgeous at night time, and you utilise flying to great effect to find secrets, and Chapter 10 is based on an Escher painting, and it's just stunning to look at, and even more stunning to explore as the world shifts perspective. And since we're on the subject of visuals, the cutscenes are breathtaking. They did a fantastic job with these, as did the people behind the music. The soundtrack is wonderful. Right, let's get to the bad stuff, besides the seizure thing that I'll never be over. I'm really pissed off at that. Balan Bout is a minigame in each level where you have to time your button presses to the transparent version in this cutscene game. If you do it perfectly each time, in the very limited time frame, you get a statue at the end. I wouldn't mind this, apart from there's one in every level. Oh wait, did I say one in every level? Sorry, that is my mistake. There's one in every level from chapters 1 to 4. Chapters 5 to 8 has 2 in every level, and chapters 9 to 12 have 3 in every level. This minigame gets repetitive fast when there's just 1 in each level, let alone when there's 2 back-to-back in the space of minutes or sometimes seconds. And I found the timing really strict, so if you don't get it perfectly each time, you have to restart the level, find the minigame, and try again. There are 48 of these in the game. Oh boy, that's not good. Another gripe was the boss cutscenes. Before you take on a boss, you see their trauma, and then see it resolved once you beat that boss. But I have absolutely no idea why this wasn't placed at the beginning of Act 1 for the world. The levels in the world are designed around their trauma, and it's actually quite clever thematically at times. It's baffling why they wouldn't show you this immediately. It's possible that some of this stuff is going to be fixed in the patch, but I don't have that, hence okay, sorry. One other gripe I have to bring up is it's weird you can't switch to Emma and Leo without their costume. I don't mind the one button thing, and I think it's actually used interestingly in the level design, but you do find because getting hit causes you to lose your ability, sometimes you start the next level, if a boss goes badly, as a set of costumes without jumping powers. Therefore you have to go into the changing room at the start of the level to switch to someone who can jump. When you lose all of the abilities you have on you, your final hit is Emma or Leo without powers, so I don't know why they didn't just add a way to become them to allow jumping easier in these moments. It seems just like a simple fix that they didn't implement, but I just don't know why. The game is also pretty easy if you're just trying to complete it, but the game hides things pretty well in its level design, so going for 100% will take a lot longer, and certain elements are pretty challenging, which is great. And of course, the Secret Act 3, which adds 12 new levels, are much harder. The secrets are genuinely quite challenging in them, so yeah, it gives you quite a lot of content, which I appreciate. I did find Chapter 8 to be strangely easy compared to those around it, but I think it's mainly because the abilities you get are pretty top tier, and you could break a lot of the game with them if you had them early. But back to the fun stuff. Between each level, you'll head to the overworld, the Isle of Tims, to create the Tower of Tims. Tims are these adorable little creatures who help you out in levels, but they also can be fed the jewels you find, and grow and help fund points into a giant tower you end up building. Does it serve any important purpose? No, not really, but it's actually quite enjoyable to see these cute little things jumping on some gems, and then playing on the tower. Will some people find it repetitive? Yeah, probably, but yeah, I liked it. It gave me an added purpose, and these cute little saviours really helped me out in a couple levels, so I grew quite attached to them. So, is Balan Wonderworld a success or a failure? Because of the seizure segment, definitely failure. The game has some really interesting ideas, and when they're executed well, they're really fun. But then there's other sections which are just okay, and then there are decisions which just don't make the experience enjoyable and more of a chore. If they decide to make a sequel, I think they can learn a lot from the criticism and make a genuinely incredible game. But whilst I think Balan Wonderworld is fun, it just isn't there yet. Also, it nearly gave me a seizure. I think that's the takeaway. And the thing is, like, probably 5 minutes after posting this review, that's not going to be relevant. But I don't care. It nearly killed me. That's not okay. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd very much appreciate it if you left a like, subscribed, maybe share the video around so people don't die. I'd also appreciate it if you checked out my Patreon, my Twitch, and my Twitter and stuff. I have these things. You know, I need to fund the purchase of this game somehow. So. But yeah, no, thank you very much for watching. Are you planning on picking it up? The thing is, it's so annoying. The game is good in places, like really good, to the point where I can recommend it. But it nearly killed me. Anyway. Actually, small update. Balan Wonderworld's Twitter said that the patch is out, and I've had since yesterday version 1.01 on PS4 and PS5, which says it fixed some minor bugs. And this patch is what I've had the whole game, and that means that the seizure is still in it. The seizure is still in the game even with this patch. This is not okay. This needs to be patched out immediately. It's dangerous. It's really dangerous. Anyway, I guess time to end. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.